Swift.
Hello and welcome to Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricinfo Matchday. We've got a big game on our hands to talk about. It's for now the battle of the wooden spoon. We've got England up against Sri Lanka in Bangalore. I'm joined by Cheteshwar Pujara and Shane Bond. I was just getting all those words out so quickly because you never thought that England would be in the position that they are in. What's gone wrong?
It's probably a combination of things. We're at a quarter final now, aren't we? And game 5's crazy. Well, yeah, I suppose you would. First thing you look at is selection. You know, he left something came up before about Jason Roy with the strike rates in international cricket. They left him out. A lot of conjecture around their squad. They've got players who are good players but haven't performed consistently in India and have turned up and aren't performing. And they just, particularly with the ball, haven't really delivered any sort of consistency. So everything's gone pretty much wrong so far for England, and they find themselves in a must-win game against a team that's played some good cricket and are dangerous in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, and Puji, we saw a stat that only 4 of England's core players have actually played together between the 2019 World Cup and this World Cup. So the bulk of their squad are not playing games together. And I guess bilateral ODIs are kind of losing their context. But could this be a reflection of that?
I think so, yeah, I agree. Because if you haven't played enough cricket together, you don't know each other players' strength and sometimes weaknesses as well, because you have to be honest within your group if things are not going right, and how do you bounce back, because you need the right feedback within the team. I feel they haven't been bowling well in Indian conditions, where their seamers, I think, have to do the damage early on, which they haven't been able to do that, and they haven't been bowling well towards the death as well. I feel they just need to get things right. Bangalore could be the right venue for them because it's a good pitch. It suits. I feel it's quite similar to what they get in England, where you have enough pace and bounce. I don't think the ball will spin a lot, and that's where I feel their batters could be capitalizing. And if they bowl well, then it'll be the right day for them.
And is it the end of their kind of era of uber aggressive batting? Do you think that coming in with that mindset in a place where maybe you do have to be a bit circumspect up front is something they lacked?
They did. They certainly did. I feel they haven't been, having the right approach, because one-day cricket is not just about going after the bowlers from first ball onwards. We have seen with other teams, they have been smart. When they've lost a couple of wickets, they've built a partnership, which England hasn't done that. I think they've just tried being too aggressive. You need to have a clear plan. I think in this particular game they will be a little smarter in that. If you end up losing too many wickets early on, you are never getting the big total which you want. So I'm sure that they will have a better plan in this game. They will try and bat normally. You still have to be aggressive. There's no doubt about playing in a positive manner, but I still feel they are over aggressive. There has to be the right balance of being aggressive and being smart when the situation arises.
Yeah, and then Bondi, Sri Lanka on the other side, it was a tough road for them to get here. They had to go through that qualifying campaign, and there they actually looked like a team in complete control. Yep. Of course, they were playing mostly associate nations at that event, but now it's been difficult for them and they've been hit by injuries. The latest one is Matisha Patirana, who's now been replaced by Angelo Matthews in the squad. How much is that going to affect them? Yeah,
it's big. Patirana struggled really in the game that he played. Hasaranga was a massive one for the Sri Lankan team. I looked at their team the other day. There's a couple of players in there who've played over 100 ODIs, but the combined experience in their bowling attack was, I think, 98 games, something like that. When you think back to the great Sri Lankan team with the Sangas and Mahalas and Malingas and Kulasekaras, these were guys who played 300-400 games across the board. There were guys who played 100 games, and for 10 years they were a dominant force in white ball cricket. New Zealand's just sort of gone through that period, and now Sri Lanka are in the rebuild phase, and they've got talent. They've played well with the bat. They've got a couple of scores of 300, a good 260 chasing down. They're 120 for 1 against Aussie, so there's a lot that's going right there, but it's the lack of experience, I think, that's just hurting them, particularly with the ball.
And even though England they lack experience being together, but they don't lack experience as individuals. So do you think that it's a case of Sri Lanka's inexperience against South Africa, against England's experience?
Yeah, I feel like Sri Lanka's got continuity, so they all know a little bit how they're going to play, and England's, as you said, just lacking that continuity, because even from a captaincy point of view, if you've got how you use your different bowlers and different combinations is important. So I feel like Sri Lanka are going to do something tomorrow. I think they've played reasonably consistent cricket. and I still think they've got enough. Just bowlers like Tikshana will cause a few problems, and they've got more batsmen in form as well. So I'm looking forward to this one. This is going to be beauty.
Biggest concern for England is what will be their playing 11 tomorrow, because I feel that there have been many changes in their bowling lineup. Whether they're going to back the same bowlers or whether they'll make a few more changes tomorrow.
Yeah, they've also had an injury concern, of course, Reece Topley fracturing his finger in that game against South Africa. So we don't want to call it a knockout before the knockouts, but it's pretty much that.
It's a knockout,
and we've got to ask you, who are you backing?
Sri Lanka. I'm thinking Sri Lanka are going to, well, they'd say it would be an upset, but I'm going to go with Sri Lanka tomorrow.
And you, Puji?
I'm going to go with England because the venue favours them. Their batters will enjoy batting on Chinnaswamy Stadium's pitch. And if they get off to a good start, then they're going to, score big runs.
And so it's set for a heavyweight battle there. Two former champions, both of them in a tough spot, vying to get off the bottom of the table. We'll bring you all that action here on ESPN Cricinfo. Thanks for watching. Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricinfo Matchday. It's a big one. England up against Sri Lanka.
Stunning looks, then swift,